Alright, next point is the alternator. We'll be using an 8mm socket to remove the battery posts. See if I can give you a nice, yep, that's an 8. Then you got over here, you have a 15mm. Then you got a 13mm. Alright, so 13mm for the positive power source for the alternator. Then you got 3 bolts with a 15mm. You got one here. I'm going to turn on the torch. You got one back here, 15-ish. And then you got another one back here, 15-ish too. And you're going to remove all 3. Now, having taken off the battery post first, I proceeded to take off the positive terminal on the alternator. Now I have this plug here. I'm going to take it off with this special tool here. Use it to take off plastic plugs. So I'm going to pry it out. And it should just pop out any minute now. Any minute now. Any minute. No, it doesn't. Doesn't want to. Just pull it out by hand. There you go. Special tools, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So yeah, now I got this loose. I got a harness to take out. You can see back here, I think I just lift the tab and pull it out, but I cannot do this with one hand. Let's see. I'm going to give it a try. It shouldn't work. Yep, nope, it's not going to work. Too uncomfortable. So as you can see here, I'm working with a mid-size socket, and I can get on there pretty good. I can get on there pretty good and loosen up the bolt. I'm going to go back in the back and get the other one, which is a nut. I can turn on my torch real quick, and you guys can see, even with my mid-socket, I could get back there and loosen it up. Or I'm going to go get an extension. No, it's not. I think it's bottoming out because of this tip here. I'm going to go get a normal, long 15mm deep well socket, put it on there, and take it off. And I just want to give you guys a quick update, just in case if it happens to you, because it ain't going to happen to me today. This longer bolt goes on this side of the alternator. This shorter bolt, right here, goes on the back side. So here's the difference. It's probably an inch or half an inch. Not too good with measurements sometimes. That's why I prefer to use calipers. But yes, this guy goes over here, and this other guy, the smaller one, goes in the back. Now, as for taking out the alternator itself, once you loosen up all the bolts, just pop it loose through the back first, and just pull it out through the front. And then when you go in with the new one, just, again, look at the hole. See that? Really easy stuff. Just pop it in through the side there. Boom. Pull it up a bit. Line the holes. And back in she goes. So you have to understand, these are just key remove, replace points that I like to give you guys up front so you guys can understand quicker and easier how to remove and replace it. So yeah, just pop it out. Now I'm going to replace it with the new one. Alright, so as you're going to see here, you have to carefully read all these instructions. Make sure that you're going to do this right. And make sure that you got all this booklet down and all the instructions and all these pages down. And after that, you're going to clip off this little thing, little cable tie, and pop her back in. Maybe I can do this one-handed. Maybe I won't. See what happens. Sorry for all the movement on my camera. I don't have a, how can I say, best instruments a camera YouTuber guy can have at the moment at his disposal, but I'll do my best to make it simple for you. Alright. So yeah, I'm going to fight this in a bit. The key point is learning how to remove and replace. So you guys got the key to removal. Now I'm going to replace it. Alright, so the way I proceeded was to put this bolt in first. While I was sort of trying to make it seat in, I mated this hole in first and put the bolt in by hand. A couple threads in, and then I just barely just went in with this, and it's going in. It's going in a bit tight because the weight of the alternator is just resting on this bolt. So it's going in, but tightly. So now I'm gonna go in through the back. You can see here, there's one there. I'm gonna pop the bolt through. Boom. Start threading that guy in. Turn on the flashlight. There we go. Turn the flashlight on. Start this bolt off. It's already started. As you can see, I can no longer pull it out. It's a good thing to know if you're going in. You can feel the thread. That's so you lock in with the other threads, and then you can pull it out as a test and it won't come out. I'm going to put in the back bolt. You can see I got the stud sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and put the nut on by hand. And I'm going to go over here, take this nut off. My camera is really bad focusing. Alright, there we go. Take the nut off, put the cable on, the lock washer on with it. I'm going to go ahead and keep on going. Just put everything back and just start tightening all the bolts. So I'm going to put the connector back. You can see the mating hole and the plug. I'm just going to go back in and clicked in. Perfect. And I'm going to put this other plug back in. You can see I'm just going to pop it in. Boom, there we go. So now that I got everything loosely installed, I'm going to start tightening down. So I can make my hands last a lot longer without carpal tunnel. I'm just going to go ahead with my automatic ratchet and just go in. Go gentle on it. So basically, you don't go full throttle. You never go full retard, so you don't go full throttle on it. You just go halfway, and I'll just lightly torque on it. I don't think I'll get back here, or maybe I will. So that stopped right there, and the other one ain't gonna work out. But yeah, automatic tools are not a problem. Scared people of automatic tools are a problem because they don't, most of the time they just, you know, they've seen so many people break bolts with them and everything else. It's knowing how to use it. It's being prudent with them. It's a great tool to preserve your health. Carpal tunnel is not a good thing to have. I don't have it yet, but I sure try to do my best on not to have it. And this is a way, using automatic tools and knowing how to use them. And again, full throttle is not the same thing as half throttle or even quarter throttle. So you can see that there's a big difference. And it'll stop automatically, it won't go over. So it's a win-win game. Just don't be scared of automatic tools. Use them, but learn how to use them properly. And just dedicate to using them the right way. Now, you can see I'm almost done. Alright, so for this procedure to put back the belt, with that new tensioner being a bit more thicker than the last one, there's a kicker here. So instead of using my ratchet, which I can't, it's too thick, I have to use this long serpentine belt rod. Serpentine belt tensioner tool. So you can see here, you got a big gap there. You will not fit a normal ratchet in there. It's not going to happen. But you can fit quite well with this serpentine tensioner belt tool. I'm just going to go forward, I'll pull up. What I can do is, instead of trying to go up on the alternator, I'm going to go, instead of pulling my belt up to the alternator here, I'm just going to push it under the tension, this other idler pulley. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pull it out, put it over the alternator, and then I'm going to go on that tensioner with the tool and try to All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go down as much as I can and get it right behind that idler. And there we go. Under the idler it is. Take the tool out. See how thin it is? The ratchet's never gonna fit in there. I tried it with 2 different ratchets I got, and it did not work out at all. So as you can see here, I'm barely on this pulley, so I'm gonna have to see if I can just show you that. Anyways, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna tension up that tensioner again, loosen it a bit so I can get the belt over this pulley here, or the power steering, not power steering, the water pump.